Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 253, coming to you live from Southern California. It's a nice, comfortable 92 degrees Fahrenheit at this time in the studio. Not in the studio. In the studio, it's more like 98 probably. And only 75% humidity. So that's just fun and exciting and fantastic. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. None of those things are true. No, obviously
it's 92 and 23 though, so you're right. The 92, yeah.
Obviously, it's not 75% humidity. I'm joined by gullible Gary, also known as Tanner.
No, I knew it wasn't 75, but I was like, is it humid today? I haven't been outside, but it's not that bad. It was disgusting a couple days ago. Yeah,
yesterday
disgusting.
Was really
the whole week
shit.
Actually.
Oh, the whole month.
Basically 100. It's 97 plus for the next like 6 days. You excited, man?
Nope.
Yeah.
Although we've been running the air a lot. The air is on right now.
Good for you guys. Good for you. Don't worry. It only stays about 100 here until
Halloween. It's actually only like 86 in my room.
I only got another 2 months, buddy. You'll make it.
Right.
Only 86. Nice, man.
50% humidity though. I wonder if this hygrometer works. Shout out to Slivovitz thermometer, by the way. Welcome to the show.
Is your carpet just like soaking wet?
What?
Do you have carpet in your room?
Yeah.
Is it just like soaking wet from the humidity?
No.
Just like step on it and it's just like your feet are all like slimy.
It's fucking gross, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's soaking wet.
It's so obvious why the house hasn't sold. It's literally your room. Your room is the reason your house hasn't sold.
That's possible. Definitely possible.
It's insane. Yeah. They're like, holy shit, the air doesn't work in this place. I'm not going to buy a house that costs X amount of dollars, then put thousands of dollars more into an air.
If they have a brain, they would not buy the home. Welcome to the show. Today, we're not talking about climate or my home, my parents' home. We're talking about Call of Duty, the video game. If you're a new listener, I would like to direct you to the show notes or video description. You can skip to whatever segment you want to listen to. It is time-stamped for your convenience. Or not. Or you can not skip. But today, we have some items to talk about. We got the beta dates. We got some details on MW2 and other things coming in the future that we are very excited to get into. And there are a couple of developments on Caldera as well. However, before we get into that, I would like to ask all of you listening, what do we have to do for you to not despise us, right? To not fucking despise Tanner and I and the program, the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. And the reason I'm asking that is because it's very obvious that you find us to be completely and utterly despicable, right? And the evidence for this is, of course, no new patrons in 7 days.
Wow.
And no one even upgrading. Probably like 100 people canceled. Didn't check that. Maybe I should have. But
let's start reading off who cancels, man.
There is just a stagnation all of the sudden. I hate when people say that, but I did it on purpose there. With the Patreon. And I don't know why. I don't know if 7 bonus episodes per month isn't enough for you. I don't know if monthly hangouts is enough for you. I don't know if and more isn't enough for you. Okay, but those are the things we offer. Yet, no new patrons. No one wants more episodes. No one wants to even upgrade to get another episode or two. It's very interesting. It's very troubling. And once again, I would beg of you to tell me, why do you not only why don't you like us, but why do you hate us, right? That's the question. Why do you fucking hate us?
How many times has this happened in the history of the show? Maybe 3 times, 2 or 3 times?
Without a new patron or upgrader, I'm not kidding. I don't know if it's ever happened. Usually someone is like, I'm going to go platinum. I want to hear the patron Q&A, a platinum exclusive benefit at patreon.com/thedropshot, which is the best way to support the show. Not that any of you care.
You've gone on rants, though, where you hold the show hostage because no new patrons. Or is that because maybe we only got like 1 in a week and you held it hostage?
I've done it for, I've done it for not enough. I've done it for none. We've definitely had weeks where we got no new patrons. I don't know if we've ever gotten a week with no new patrons and no one upgrading either. I think this might be a first.
I think it's a sign.
What do you think it's a sign of?
We're switching to a Tarkov podcast. You want me to link the Tarkov patch notes from today? I can do that.
You're spoiling the next announcement.
No,
you gotta hold your horses.
Yeah.
I saw this TikTok, by the way. That was a joke. I saw this TikTok, by the way. This guy was ranking the top 5 best horse idioms. And he was ranking them. And then people were like, how could you leave out this and that? I never thought of this, obviously. This is why TikTok is a sparingly fantastic app. There are fucking probably 40 idioms about horses. Hold your horses. Don't put the cart before the horse.
You're right.
You can't lead a horse to water. Dude, there are way more than 5. Like, the comments were mauling about like all these other ones that everyone is familiar with and has used that he left off the list. It was a clever little TikTok. I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, horses used for a lot of things. You're right.
It is, dude. Like, so many. And I just never,
ponies.
Would have thought to that. Come ponies. That's my name in Escape from Tarkov. Which leads to our next announcement. That's a joke. We're not doing a Tarkov podcast. Not at this time, anyway.
We may have gotten 1 new patron if we did. So
maybe we should. Maybe someone would care. You know, it just feels bad. No one cares. You know, no one likes us. Everyone despises us. This is cyberbullying. We're being cyberbullied by you listening. You're cyberbullying us.
Yeah, how does that feel?
It doesn't feel
assholes.
Good.
I'm gonna go cry. Get it now. You want to cry?
I'm gonna cry. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. Maybe that would get us some patrons. So anyway, fuck you guys.
It works for a lot of people. Fuck
you guys and patreon.com/thedropshot. It is the best way to support the program. And we do my voice cracks even more on the Patreon, and we do 7 bonus episodes a month, monthly hangouts, and more. Check it out. Patreon.com/thedropshot, please.
Somebody did say in chat a little while ago, M. Saudi just signed up for Damascus for the behind the scenes episode. So maybe he just did it before we went live. Maybe he upgraded and saved the show. We don't have confirmation on that, though.
I did get an email, but it's not in the notes, and I'm not doing it now. It's too late, M. Saudi. We need to do it before the notes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a little thanks right now, and you're going to get a normal one next week. And you're going to fucking like it. Because I have to roast your profile picture, probably, and your name, which is, of course, to change it. And we're not doing that now. It's too late. And you're ruining the bit, in fact. So I'm going to edit this out. And fuck you, M. Saudi. Shouldn't have signed up till tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
You also hate us. In other news, we did get some support from the old dying bitch himself.
Jesus.
The great grandfather of the community. Super great grandfather. In the way that he's old, not in the way that he's really good. That's not what I mean by great. I mean specifically old, right?
Yeah, is he?
Benjamin G has donated an amount of United States dollars to the program. Donation links are, of course, available at thedropshot.com. Again, not that any of you care. But anywhere you see a dono link, that would be just splendid. That's a great way to support the program, too. He's done an amount of United States dollars. No message attached, because he's just chill like that, as they say.
He did
on the
send
talk.
me a DM. It is his. It's basically his. It's basically his tax-free yearly donation, so he doesn't have to give Twitch 50% of the money. He sends us instead the revenue for subbing to one of us for a year.
This is the wisdom that comes with age, is to donate instead of subbing on Twitch.
Semi-annual not giving Twitch money sub replacement. Plus some Joe Biden inflation.
Let's go. And the amount, of course, is $69.69, which is an extremely generous contribution from Benjamin G. Old dying bitch. King, Chad, God. One of the very few, the exalted few, Dropshot community members who have actually gone outside and met another Dropshot community member, by the way.
True.
Which is commendable, I would say. So, Ben, for real, thank you very much, dude. Really, obviously, we very much appreciate that. And it is wise of you to circumvent Bezos. We appreciate that as well. And that's a lot of money, $69.69. So thank you very much, dude. Really love you. Really appreciate you. Super kind of you. And more of you should be like Ben G. Let's put it that way.
True.
So it's a joke. You guys are fun. And hey, we'll get value out of you somehow, won't we? More on that to come, isn't there? You freeloading cocksuckers. So anyway, Ben, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's fine to not be a patron or donate. We're mostly joking. We'll take it, but I don't pay for the vast majority of podcasts I listen to. So if you think I'm serious, then use your fucking brain. Now, speaking of the Patreon, we just released a behind the scenes episode on Patreon. These are, of course, for our Damascus patrons, our highest tier patrons. And in the behind the scenes episodes, we talk about not Call of Duty shit, podcast shit, and a little bit of real life shit. It's not that we don't talk about our real lives. It's that our real lives are so incredibly boring that there's never anything to talk about. So if things happened in real life, we would talk about them on.
I rode my bike yesterday.
You what?
I rode my bike yesterday. I did something.
Okay. But mostly it turns out to be, just podcast talk. And in this particular one, there was a lot of very interesting behind the scenes stuff that we really wanted feedback on. We've gotten quite a bit of feedback, and some of it was a little surprising. A lot of this feedback was posted in the Patreon feedback channel, which all the patrons can see. Maybe that means we should talk about it now. Maybe not. What are your thoughts, Tanner?
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we do it in a few weeks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
because we're not going to do it till September anyways.
Yeah, we released a behind the scenes episode. We talked about a lot. Among those are things we're thinking about doing for a Patreon overhaul. The feedback was somewhat surprising to me. I wasn't sure what to expect. It wasn't that surprising, but it somewhat. And go into Discord and read that if you are curious what I'm referring to. But thank you guys for all the feedback, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. We hope you found it interesting. And that feedback will help direct where we go from here. But for the rest of you patrons, and maybe would-be patrons or are thinking about being patrons, we will be doing something different with the Patreon for the month of September. We're going to do another miniature overhaul. There aren't going to be that many changes, but they are going to be very impactful ones. And we are going to be adding a benefit for every single tier on Patreon that every single patron will get value out of. So there are some things like behind the scenes episodes, for example. Some of you don't give a fuck about behind the scenes episodes. So that's like a benefit we offer that is not going to help every single patron. This thing we're going to add in September is not like that. It will unanimously help every single patron, which is why we're going to offer it to every single patron. And we're very excited about doing that. And then there might be a couple other things we change, but I'm really excited. if you've been thinking about joining the Patreon, now's a good time. And September will be a great time as well. And we will get more into specifics once we've finalized what we're going to do. But expect a different scheme for the Patreon in September that we're very much looking forward to. And again, if you're curious what we're referring to, go on Patreon right now. Listen to our behind the scenes episode. It's available for all the Damascus patrons, and you will be enlightened. What were your thoughts on doing that episode, Tanner?
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback on it. I think it's just going to lead to better quality episodes, higher quality Saturday episodes too, stuff like that. So I think there'll be good changes. We'll probably announce it, we'll probably announce it in like 2 weeks from now, basically. Something like 2 weeks from today, actually, and then it'll start in September. And like you said, I think overall it's a benefit to everyone. But you know, there are some changes that we'll talk about in depth when we get there. So
yeah,
I like it, and I think most people will like it as well. Judging from the feedback we got,
I think so too. And you know what, Tanner? Actually, we might want to announce it maybe next week so that we can get everyone else's feedback. I think that
maybe like next Saturday or something. Maybe
next Saturday, the 20th. I think that would be a good time. So. So anyway, thanks for the feedback, and that, once again, episode is live. Expect some new Patreon episodes next week for Gold and Platinum. We've got a lot to kick out this month, and we want to play some Titanium Trials first, because there is a lot of content to get into and dissect there. And if you guys are here live and you want to watch us play Titanium Trials, we're doing that on Friday, the 12th. 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you can't be there live, there will be a VOD on twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot. Just go to his past broadcasts. So that is happening tomorrow as well. Last announcement here. I know this is going kind of long, but once again, there are timestamps. You could have skipped it, so it's your fault. Don't blame us. The new overlay, the new podcast overlay. We did a fundraiser for it. We set a goal. We absolutely didn't come close to reaching the goal. That's okay. Yeah. We told you, hey, whether or not we hit the goal, we're getting a new overlay anyway, and that's what we're doing. The artist we want has actually replied to us after too long, but that's fine. And he's the same guy who made our gameplay overlays, which are super fucking crispy and clean, and I really like them. And we're going to be getting a new podcast overlay in the same style. It's going to be very similar. Obviously, it's going to be tailored.
Same color scheme. Yeah.
Podcast,
his animations. Yeah. It's going to be clean.
It's going to be super fucking clean. I'm really excited about it. That should be finalized probably around the last week of August. It should be done by like the 18th, but we might need revisions or whatever. But like by September, I think that's going to be done. Yeah. And then I think to kick off the month of September and use that new overlay, Tanner and I are going to do a test YouTube live stream podcast. So if you normally watch live and you want to continue doing that, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. YouTube.com/the Dropshot podcast, or just search for us in YouTube. We will come up. We have a decent YouTube presence. We need more subs on the road to 2,000. Okay. It's free to sub, and then turn on noties. So then when we do our first ever YouTube live stream, it's going to be a landmark, momentous, milestone occasion. You gotta be there live. You just gotta. We're going to try and set up all the fucking memberships and tiers and badges and shit like that beforehand, as well as set up the new overlay. That's going to be a lot of fun. We can experiment with the bit rate too. Every single aspect of YouTube live streaming is better than Twitch live streaming. It's an almost unanimously better website. Their theater mode's shit. It's the only problem with it.
Everything whole else, UI is dog shit. Yeah.
Right. Everything else about YouTube is better. But we're going to be doing a YouTube live stream test once that new overlay is done. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. It's free. And turn on notifications. And I'm really excited about it. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the quality, like you said. Yeah, YouTube UI, it's just insanity that it's still as bad as it is. It actually worries me and makes me think maybe we won't ever switch to YouTube full time, because they just don't do anything to the website ever. They push out less updates than Twitch. It's fucking insane. So hopefully they can get some better UI here soon, because it's terrible to view. But you know, the quality overall is better. We already have a lot of YouTube subscribers on there, so it makes sense to do. Yeah, I'm excited to try it for sure. Especially with gameplay, that would look a lot better. If anything,
that would 100% look better, because they can. I think they do variable bitrate for every single viewer, so we could stream it like fucking 10K upload, and then if someone has good internet, they can watch it in really good detail without a bunch of like interpolation and dog shit blurriness. And then if you have dog shit internet, you can just scale it down. I think that's going to be really fun too. We'll try both for sure. But I think we'll probably start with the podcast one. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. Any other announcements, Tanner?
No.
All right, if you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Pop! With the resub tier 3.
Clipping, man.
Tier 3 sub 25 months in a row. Pop, you fat cum piglet little bitch. You obese little piggy. Pop. Thank you very much for the tier 3, 25 in a row. It's a long time in a row. I love you, buddy. Thank you very much. Zerosio Kun, also with 1,050 bits. Holy shit. Says, eat a dick, Tanner. Lol. True.
Who said that?
Zerosio. Shout out to you, Zar. Very much appreciate that contribution. And with the resub prime 22 months, 22, fuck yeah. Zar. Very generous of you, dude. Really fucking appreciate that. You're a king. Tanner should eat a dick. And Gunny Games with the 5 United States dollar, good old-fashioned cash donation. Enjoy the content, gents. Keep it up. Wow. That's insane. Gunny, thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate that. A good old-fashioned tip. A good old dono. And part of the Gunny squad, by the way. Winners of tournaments, Dropshot invitationals. Really appreciate that, Gunny. Thank you for the $5, dude. You're a king. All right, welcome to the show. First off here, we got some patch notes. Not very much has been changed with the game in the last week. And the more exciting, of course, aspect of this episode is going to be revolving around MW2. But we do have a little bit to share with respect to Warzone. On August 8th, there were a couple of bug fixes. People have been having a very serious issue where they can't even launch the game without crashing. And I believe that has now been addressed. Can Chris play the game, for example, Tanner?
He can't play the game, but they fixed it like a day after he did all of this insane shit. I don't remember what it was he did. He hooked a PlayStation up, and what did he say? It was insanity, basically. The amount of things he tried to do to fix the dev error when I told him it was unfixable was just straight up insane. It's like he had to load up a PlayStation, log into his account, boot up his PC really quick, open up Battle.net, remove the skins. I don't know. Something finally worked after literally hours and hours of him trying stuff. Imagine trying that hard, by the way, just to play Warzone.
I know, that's crazy.
I don't get it. I was like, you're insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
Anyways, I think that issue is fixed for most people from what I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, so that is good. Took them entirely too long, but fine. That's a really big bug, so I'm glad that's working. And there was an issue with the Blixen. It was increasing rather than decreasing movement speed. As well, the Blixen was nerfed. Max damage, which is the important stat for an SMG, because that's close range damage, was reduced on the Blixen from 38 to 38 from 39. I have heard reports that this is not that big of a deal and that the Blixen is still very good, but it was nerfed.
Yeah, and they're not going to gut it yet. They just released an insane anime bundle that people have been looking forward to that uses the Blixen, so they'll continue to have that as good as it is until that bundle's out of the shop in a week or two, probably, and then we'll see a more substantial nerf to it.
That is absolutely correct. And if you guys were like lazy, but you still wanted to keep up to date on what's meta, and you couldn't wait for our next podcast episode, here's all you need to do. Log into your game, visit the Call of Duty store, look for the first weapon bundle you see. Whatever that gun is, it's the best gun in the game. So just use that. Yeah. So they're a little pro tip for you if you're in a pinch. All right. Now we got Titanium Trials Endurance. So this is a blog post today by Raven Software. Titanium Trials, which is like Iron Trials but more, is now live. And they've released this blog post announcing that and giving us some more details, because I don't think they gave us the full rule set until today, in fact, or when it was released. So there's a little rundown here. What exactly should you expect? So once again, it's 152 players. We've already talked about a lot of this, so I'm going to kind of skip to things we have not talked about yet.
It is 400 total health, by the way. I keep seeing people on Twitter all day today. They've been saying 450, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was 400, and it is. It's 300 armor and then 100 health.
Yes.
So it's not 450. That's been all over Twitter. It's 400 total health.
And that's an easy mistake to make because Activision is dumb. I don't know why. In regular BR, you have 150 health. And then in Iron Trials, you have 100. Like base player health. So you might say, oh, that doesn't matter because all that matters is the total health you have when you're fully plated. But I don't think that's exactly true. If your core health is less in Iron Trials, that makes two things worse. Number one, Serpentine, not as good. Because you're negating damage on a smaller proportion of your health pool. 100 instead of 150. Two, stims, not as good. Because you're refreshing less of your health. Because you only have 100 instead of 150. So that change does matter for those reasons. There might be something I'm missing. I don't think so, though. And this also makes, obviously, Tempered way fucking better. But Tempered is also super common. So
and it's even more common in this. It's right. More common ground loot in this.
Yes. So that is the idea there. So if you're using stims or using Serpentine, I would, especially Serpentine, I really wouldn't use in Iron Trials. Cold-Blooded's just gonna, because they're gonna have to land a lot of shots, and if you're running Cold-Blooded, you can get lost. You have a lot of time to get lost in a bush. And if you have Cold-Blooded, then you can actually do that. So,
and especially because of that, all that armor. If you're shooting someone in the open, they could have plenty of time to get into cover where in otherwise a normal BR they can't. And then Serpentine, at that point, you're still just doing damage to their armor, so it's not even doing anything for you. You have to get them very low health for Serpentine to even kick in. Yeah, it's probably better just to run Cold-Blooded, even if you're not getting hit that often with Combat Scout. On paper, it doesn't seem to be a reason to run Serpentine, but we'll figure it out tomorrow when we play.
Yes. So there you go. And then all of this shit has already gone on. The Gulag.
Yeah, interesting.
Is set up with pistols. Holy shit, my voice is just on one today. I need some hot tea. Make me some tea, Tanner. The Gulag is set up with pistols and melee weaponry. Jesus Christ. And for the first time ever, you'll be armored. Oh, it's interesting. So good luck being on keyboard and mouse. A few well-placed shots and a follow-through with the swing of the sledgehammer should still do the trick.
Jesus Christ.
This is the least skill gap, most dog shit RNG trash gulag you could ever design. And they put it in their widening the skill gap game mode.
Holy shit.
Don't know why.
That makes no sense. I didn't realize this was a thing until I just read. This is insane, yeah.
This is insane.
Pistols and melee. Oh my, that's ridiculous.
Now, luckily,
that's crazy.
You're going to have 8 self-reses, 5 gulag tokens, and 3 redeploy tokens every single game. So you'll probably never go to the gulag. But if you do, good luck, smile. That's insane. But having armor in the gulag's kind of interesting. That would be cool with guns. I would like that with guns. That'd be kind of fun.
I'm almost positive last time we saw Iron Trials, wasn't it literally all ARs and SMGs? And they said that the reason was because like it's more of a skill gap. Correct. And then now they do the opposite. They can't even keep track of the things they're doing. It's Jesus Christ, man.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's very cool. Yeah, so more self.
Just don't go to the gulag though. It'll be fine.
Just don't die. It's that simple. Let's see.
What did
What?
Yeah, what did Ted tell Jake about this, by the way? Will be one of the most challenging BRs we've ever made. Got it. Talking about this game mode. Melee and pistols in the gulag, by the way. And generous with self-revives, by the way. And you spawn in and return from the gulag with self-revive. No, it was more hardcore. Warzone before Ted was ever part of it. Ever. Warzone before 1 year
when
ago.
Ted didn't work.
Was a lot more hardcore, yeah.
Yeah.
Teddy do a lot of great things, but not making it more hardcore. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, for sure. So there's also a list of 8 challenges to unlock the Ultra Liquid Metal weapon camo. And then if you win 20 matches of Titanium Trials, you get an additional weapon camo. I'm not going to read all of these. But
no, what's harder than winning 20 to get that is
playing
on K-BAM winning Gulag 5 times to get a weapon camo. I can win 20 games easier than I can win 5 Gulags probably with pistols and melee weapons.
Yeah. Oh,
Smile.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Hold on. So here's the blog post. Complete all 8 challenges to unlock the Ultra Liquid Metal weapon camo, but don't stop there. Rumors of hidden rewards persist for those most dedicated to the Titanium Trials. I was under the impression that was the weapon camo I just referred to for winning 20 times. However, they list that weapon camo and challenge in the blog post. So this is not the secret reward for the most dedicated players. I don't know what is. And I wonder what that challenge would be. I'm guessing it's something like win 30 times?
Win 50 times?
Win 50 times?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what else it could be.
I mean, even 20 times is a ton. There are very few people that's going to get this camo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I wonder what the reward would be, the secret challenge and the secret reward. What's that?
It was funny, though, because I saw OP Marks was talking to him, and he was tweeting back and forth with J God, and he was like, only 20 wins? Because that's like easy for him. He has 7,000 wins, you know? And then J God's like, the average Warzone player doesn't have 20 wins since Caldera came out, literally.
Yeah.
So it's like, sounds easy for a lot of people listening to this, probably. Or not easy, but it's like, oh, I could get 20 wins. But for an average player, this is literally impossible to do.
And you're on a clock, too. Like, Titanium Trials only going to be out for 2 weeks. That's what makes it, like, really hard. If this was out for 2 months, okay. Most people who have ever won could probably do it. But in 2 weeks, it's going to be a little tough. So, that is that. So, not much more new info. I thought there was going to be more new info, but I guess they had said most of this earlier.
Yeah,
but
most
the
of it's the
Gulag
same.
thing was new.
The Gulag thing is the one thing I absolutely don't like from this.
Oh, of course not.
Doesn't fit what they've said in the past to raise the skill gap or whatever. So
yeah, for sure. All right. So today's podcast is sponsored by Kolosseum. Users can enter the Friday freebie contest for free at Kolosseum.co. What is that? Well, Kolosseum is the fantasy football, but for Warzone. You will pick 6 streamers while remaining under a salary cap. So if you want to get Breadman, it's going to cost you a lot of that salary cap. You only have so much money to spend. But if you wanted to get me, I'm not on the website, but if I was, I would cost $5 and you could stay well under your salary cap. So you can't just pick the best 6 people you know. You have to be smart about it. You have to stay under that salary cap and pick 6 streamers. These streamers will earn you fantasy points for the weekend based on all of their kills and victories for that weekend. You want people who are winning. You want people who are slaying out. The top 5 dream squads with the most fantasy points will win a percentage of the pot. And new signups increase the free $75 prize pool by $5 up to $150 every single week. You go to KOLOSSEUM.co. You sign up. Use promo code Dropshot when you make your account. You don't have to spend any money, but the promo code helps us because they can keep track of what we're doing here and why you signed up. Okay? You make that account and then you build your squad, stay under the salary cap, and then you don't spend a goddamn penny. And then when the weekend's over, if your squad does well, gets a lot of points, you earn money up to a portion of a $150 prize pool. So you can win cash and you never have to spend any. Great deal. Go to Kolosseum.co. Once again, KOLOSSEUM.co. Make an account. Enter now the Friday freebie. Use code Dropshot when you're making your account. Spend nothing. Win real cash. Put your Warzone knowledge to the test. Now, moving on. As I said, not much happening in the world of Call of Duty, the current video games, but there's some more exciting things on the horizon related to what will be happening in 77 days, 8 hours, 7 minutes, and 42 seconds, which is, of course, the Modern Warfare 2 release. God willing. Tanner, news and upcoming changes. What do we got, buddy?
So first off, Infinity Ward dropped a little teaser trailer for a map today. So we'll get into more in a second, but Call of Duty Next is coming up September 15th. It's going to be a big reveal. But as of now, they're going to be dropping these little teasers up until that point. And so today they dropped one of a new map and they kind of talk about it. So if you want to actually play this, because people could hear it too, because it's like devs talking about it a little bit. So why don't you play this little video?
Oh, the devs are talking. Okay. So I'm going to restart this. This is a 1 minute and 15 second clip.
Tell me when you're starting it so I can play the same time.
Okay.
So this is from the new map called Farm 18.
Yes. And Infinity Ward said about this, welcome to Farm 18, location classified, shoot house optional, Modern Warfare 2 intel drop. So if you go to @InfinityWard on Twitter, you can see this clip. We're going to play it for you here. And we're going to play the audio because apparently the devs talk in this as well. So let's take a look. 3, 2, 1.
How we designed a new map for Modern Warfare 2.
My name is Jeffrey Smith. I'm a director of multiplayer design. Farm 18 came out of the idea of we kind of like the shoot house facility map, so we decided to think of hidden training facilities. But it's also in an industrial cement factory. And the idea was, what if we put a shoot house type situation in the middle? If you really want to play that crazy game, you can go to the center and that action will find you. If you want to pull back and play a different way, it's still available to you.
I'm Ashley Thundercliffe, and I'm a senior environment artist. So when the design has approved the layout of the map and we're happy with it, and we come in and we transform those blockhouses into full-fledged environments for the players to immerse themselves in. The other problem was balancing the foliage. If we go too dense with the foliage, we have people hide in the corners. If we don't go dense enough, we don't sell the narrative of the overgrowth. So it's all a perfect balance between all departments trying to find the perfect harmony to make sure that we've got a beautiful, realistic looking space, whilst also being fun for the players to enjoy.
Okay, so there we have it. Tanner, what are your thoughts?
First thing, it's very obvious like, as we've talked about plenty of times, they know the mistakes they made with MW 2019. They've admitted to that, getting too crazy with the map design. The first two maps we've seen so far, Grand Prix, and now this one, absolute smaller 3-lane maps. 3-lane map design. They specifically mentioned Shoot House in this one, how it's kind of in the middle. They show a further out view of the map, and there's like the Shoot House in the middle, kind of in a warehouse, and then each other side is like a road. It is a pretty basic 3-lane map with a little Shoot House right in the middle of it. So that's a good sign, because what were like the first maps we saw on MW 2019, it was like they were showing off Piccadilly and stuff. Maps with zero flow, far from 3-lane maps. So the first two looks we've gotten at maps, smaller 3-lane. That's really good news. I also like that they mentioned the bush camper thing, because he did specifically say, you do too much foliage, you're going to have people corner camping there. Great point. You had a lot of that in MW 2019, as we've said, not because of Dead Silence, because of the map design that you guys had. So that's another good sign there. I think they purposely showed these two maps early on so people realize, like, yeah, these look like older, like classic Call of Duty maps, 3-lane smaller maps. They're definitely doing that on purpose. A couple other things. The graphics itself, I mean, it is like a shitty quality little video. It looks like an expansion pack to MW 2019.
It looks actually identical. I would believe you if you said this was MW 19 gameplay on a new map.
Yeah, some absolute Call of Duty casual that doesn't play every game, from judging from that video, they would literally think it's MW 2019, I think. Yeah. One thing that irritates the fuck out of me, I don't know if you noticed, those screens when the guy was walking, holding his gun out, why is the gun bobbing around so much? It's little things like that most people don't care about, but that shit pisses me off. I did not like his guns. It's like, dude, you're walking. You know how easy it is to walk and hold a heavy ass gun straight? It's like this dude's fucking walking and doing that. I'm like, what is wrong with you, man? Elite operator, by the way. Holy shit. And then that visual recoil it just showed right there in that little clip was absurd. Looking through the iron sights, which are hideous, by the way. He's using like some sort of M4 variant, but that recoil when it shows it, I think at the very end of the video,
visual recoil.
It's all visual recoil. It's that same shit where it's like MW 2019 had, where the reticle has so much visual recoil that like you can't even line up the front post with like the rear. Even though the gun probably doesn't have a lot of recoil, it's got like that weird visual fact to it. So I don't like that. That's kind of a bad sign to me. But, you know, granted, this gun has no attachments on it. You'll obviously be able to run optics and other things, and it'll probably be a lot more controllable. And who knows? Because, you know, like little visual things like that, even Sledgehammer changed early on with the guns, like muzzles and whatnot. Flash, so that is stuff that would actually change possibly with a full release. But overall, just judging from the map, it looks really good.
Okay, yeah. Looks
like a pretty basic 3-lane map.
So the gun bobbing is kind of weird. That won't impact the gameplay very much, so I'm a little less concerned about that.
Not at all. That's what I'm saying. Most people won't even care, like, look at that, but that just bugs me for some reason.
However, I mean, like, look at this little still here. Hold on. Of the recoil. Okay, this is a perfect example. This is really bad visual recoil, and this should not. I mean. Okay, imagine you're holding an M4 and you have a right hand and a left hand, okay? Now imagine you're just holding it and aiming it in front of you. Okay, now imagine you take your right hand and you just move it to the right 6 inches without moving your left hand. You'd be looking like at the side of your gun.
Yeah.
So you're looking through the rear sight, and then the front sight is like to the left. Now it's not 6 inches here, but I just wanted to demonstrate what I'm talking about. That is what's happening with this recoil. Very cringe, very annoying. On the other hand, though, first of all, it might be more realistic. I don't know, and I don't really care. It probably is more realistic. Second of all, though, if we aren't guaranteed all of our attachments, this means there is a higher premium on using an optic rather than iron sights. So being like, okay, well, I want to use whatever, this underbarrel, but I really need an optic for an M4 because the iron sights on it are so bad, and you can fucking like cant your gun to yourself and make it really hard to aim. So it could be a way to do weapon balance. And like you said, things can change, whatever. On the topic of the map, one interesting thing is that the shoot house itself at the center of the map is 2-story, which I find
there's staircase right in that one little clip. You can see stairs here, and then I'm going to look around for a little aerial view. You can see that it's 2 stories. That's pretty interesting. I don't know exactly what the upper level entails, but that's kind of surprising. And also I'm wondering, how porous is the shoot house itself? That could be a concern. Yeah. I don't think it will be, because I think if you wanted to go from this left lane over to this right lane and you want to cut through shoot house, you're probably fucking dead if you try and do that. There was one other thing I noticed. It's probably not
effectively that porous, which is good, but in theory, you could just like skip through lanes. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal though, and therefore I do think this will play like a 3-lane map with a unique twist. Because a shoot house at mid, that's going to be a lot of cover at mid. Normally mid is the worst spot to be in a very traditional Call of Duty map, because that's where you don't have like a wall or the edge of the map to like cover a side for you. But in this case, mid's going to be hot, but you're not going to be in a bunch of danger in the same way you would be as if you were on mid at Raid.
Yeah.
Well, Raid doesn't exactly have a mid, sort of does. But like a firing range, for example, being mid there is dangerous. And I think it's going to be less dangerous to be mid here, which is interesting. But I would say it's 3 lanes, yeah.
If you go to 50 seconds and pause it, where it shows like the basic design of the map before like the artists come in and actually do more detail, it's interesting because like there is right at the top of the staircase, it appears there's like a broken, busted wall that looked like it was covered with wood. That makes me wonder if we're getting destructible type stuff back again, like in Vanguard, which not very many people liked. Even the window, it looks like there's like one board over the window that makes me think those have to be shot out. I could absolutely do without all of that. Yeah, I'm hoping it is just the design itself, but something kind of to look at and think about that we may be seeing that destructible type, those walls again.
Yeah.
And actually, when I had said the visual recoil thing with the iron sights being like MW19, it wasn't MW, it's Vanguard had that. Vanguard has that really weird visual recoil where it's like, it's what I've always complained about with certain guns, where it doesn't go up. It's like visually your optic goes down and to the right almost. And that's what this looks like, and I don't like that at all. It feels very weird, and it doesn't actually add recoil. It's just a waste of... It's just like visual shit that you don't need on your screen, but it's not actually increasing the recoil. It just increased the recoil on the guns, not visually.
If you want to do that, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So
another positive, though, from this video is that this map looks pretty fucking small. This does not look like that big.
And Kashav did say that. He said this was one of the other maps they got to play, and he said definitely a smaller Call of Duty map. He said like the smallest one they played.
Okay. Well, this is quite small, so if this is the smallest one they played, that could be fine.
Yeah.
Call of Duty has had a streak of map design that are simply too big. So I like to see the size on that one as well. So overall, pretty impressed with that. I am very curious to see how that will play. It is something new. Having mid be really covered up like that, fairly unique thing. There are probably some similar maps in the Call of Duty pantheon, but not many. So I'm very curious to play that, see how that plays. So yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
And next up here, this is the big one. Call of Duty Next is coming September 15th. They're announcing Announcing Call of Duty Next, the franchise showcase event, open beta date times for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So this says, mark your calendars for September 15th. The future of Call of Duty will be revealed at Call of Duty Next, a franchise showcase event. Then clear your schedule for September 16th through the 26th, which will get more detail there for the beta. So basically, at the end of the CDL season and tournament, which was this last weekend, which no, we're not going to talk about because I didn't watch it and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
They did this little excerpt where we had talked about, okay, be ready. It's going to be like in the grand finals. They're going to talk about MW2. And that's what it was. They talked about one of the maps, which will also show, but more than anything, they talked about this event that's coming up and they released the actual beta dates. That was during the actual championship. So we're going to start here. Let's see. So here's what we're getting. What the imminent future of Call of Duty will look like, including many details regarding Modern Warfare 2, information on the next Call of Duty Warzone, and more on the mobile version of Call of Duty Warzone. A full Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer reveal. Again, this is all coming September 15th, a massive event. A multitude of your favorite streamers at the event playing the games in real time, which I don't think we've seen that now since MW 2019 because of COVID.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that back again.
Yeah.
So they've, cool. I think, invited about 500 different creators out, and they're going to be playing the game live, showing things off, and then redacted information and surprises. No mention of DMZ again, but as we've learned from DMZ, it is a part of MW2. It seems not its own game mode, so that could just be thrown in there. Exactly. Or it could be this redacted information they've talked about. So this is the first time they're doing any event like this, and they're just blowing their whole load and putting it all out there on one day. They're doing it all in one event, which I like this a lot.
I
really do like this.
I do too, and I like that it's live because you can't just record your gameplay. Oh, there was a bug. Let's start the recording over. Oh, that looked weird. Start the recording over. You can't do that. Can't do that live. So if something's fucked, then we're going to see it be fucked, and in what way it's fucked.
Exactly.
And it's super buggy. We'll see that too. Now, of course, it's going to be buggy, and that's fine, and we can expect that. And
it'll be buggy, yeah.
And there's some leeway there. We would expect it to be, and that's okay. But if something like looks like bad design, they won't be able to hide it live. They just won't. We're going to learn a lot.
Hopefully that shows they're pretty confident then that they're letting all these people play live.
And that was my next point, is that the fact of them doing this implies that they are very confident in this product. So much so that they're willing to let a bunch of influential people get their hands on it and talk about it on their own YouTubes. And also let the public see this event as well. So their confidence is a good sign. But again, as we've seen Ted Timmy Timmons talking on the TL about.
Ted Timmy Timmons on the TL.
A dev's confidence in something being good does not necessarily make it good, right? So
yeah, I mean they're very proud confident of their work, yeah,
and they're proud and all that, and that's great. But that doesn't necessarily mean it is a product we would be confident in. Now, I will add, it doesn't mean it's going to not be good either. And I'd rather they be confident about it than not. And this is a good sign. And I have fairly high expectations for the game itself and for this event. This event is going to be fun to watch live, really fun. And this is on September 15th once again. I don't know where it's going to be streamed. It doesn't matter because here's where you're going to watch it. thedropshot.com/live. We will be watching this event. Maybe not the whole thing, but a lot of it. We're going to be live streaming.
Because
I'm excited to do that.
I come back from Hawaii literally the day before, so this is excellent timing. I'm very glad it didn't land in there when I'm gone. So we will absolutely be live streaming this. I had the same idea. We'll be watching it. It'll probably all be on their YouTube channel, I would assume.
I would imagine. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that is exciting.
The next day, you'll get all hyped, and then the next day, if you own a PlayStation, you'll be able to jump into the beta on the 16th.
Yes. So here's how you're going to play the beta. So the first beta weekend is available to PS4, PS5, and it's scheduled to run from September 16th, 10 a.m. to Tuesday, September 20th. This is only for PS4 and PS5 users. You're able to access the beta without PlayStation Plus, okay? And the 16th and 17th is early access, so that's for, I guess, pre-orders only, yeah. And then weekend 2, all platforms, PC, including in there, of course, September 22nd to the 26th, same thing. The first 2 days are, if you pre-ordered it, 22nd, 23rd are pre-order for everyone, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. And then the 24th to the 26th is the official open beta for everyone.
Correct. And
so a lot of beta dates there. A lot of, especially if you're on PlayStation, you get to play the game for 2 whole weeks, basically.
Yeah. And this will be, it's a good timing too, because they're going to do their little event and then boom, right after you get some absolute fucking gameplay yourself if you're on PlayStation. Something Tanner and I were talking about before we started recording. This is probably the last big release with this PlayStation exclusivity dog shit, especially with them being bought by Microsoft, who owns Xbox, by the way. We can finally see this trend going away. So, but I mean, you won't see the fruits of that till the next game. So, still kind of annoying. I expected it, but
oh yeah, we knew that was coming.
We'll at least get to see the game more. On the 16th through the 20th, and that'll be exciting for us, if not as exciting as playing ourselves. So,
yeah, I was saying before we went live, it just kind of, more than anything, I'm not jealous that they, like, PlayStation gets to play it first. I don't care that much. It's a beta, but I think more than anything, it really does ruin the hype for their game. Because it's like only select few people are excited. It's like, oh, I get to play the beta, and then everyone else has to watch. To me, it just kills the hype for those people instead of letting everyone in at the same time, everyone being able to play it at once. You all get to experience it for the first time together. It's like everyone else has to sit there and watch. It's like, I'm not gonna go buy a PlayStation just to do this. I don't fucking care because it's a beta, you know? There are content creators that do that, though. They'll go buy a PlayStation literally just to get gameplay on this and play it. But so, to me, they're just shooting themselves in the foot because it just kills the hype for their beta, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a dumb dog shit exclusivity deal, but we should only have to deal with it for a little bit longer.
And it's just not that big of a deal ultimately, at the end of the day. So yeah. Very much looking forward to that, and we're going to learn a lot. I'm more excited for the September 15th COD Next more than the beta, honestly.
Same, because I want to hear about Warzone. That's what I want to hear about. Because I know how the
beta is going to be. I'm going to install it. I'm going to crash 80 times. It's going to be a buggy mess. I won't be able to play with any of my friends. Good luck forming a group. And then the game will perform in a particular way, and it'll feel like a first-person shooter game. I kind of know what's going to happen with the beta. COD Next? Who knows what's going to happen? Nothing crazy, probably, but it'll be fun to watch. It'll be like an actual cool little event. And I'm not the guy that's like, oh, I love fucking community events. I think that shit is largely obnoxious and cringe. But in this case, I actually am excited. I think this is very cool and something to look forward to as a viewer.
Yeah, same. I'm hoping we get actually like some sort of small gameplay of Warzone. I really feel like it'll be mostly just talked about. But hell, if they literally invited like 500 creators, maybe they're actually going to do like a test play of Warzone. Well, customs won't work. It's probably not even in the game yet.
I know.
They all won't be able to join the lobby together, yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm more excited to see the next event than I am play the beta. Because the beta will be a beta. There's no progression. It's like 2 hours of gameplay and then you're done with it.
Right.
But so on that note, the MW2 beta is set to feature a robust multiplayer experience going beyond the core 6v6 experience with a variety of meticulously designed maps of various sizes and an equally impressive set of modes, progression experiences, and other aspects that will be more thoroughly revealed at COD Next. Blah, blah. We'll talk about the new map in a second. With a number of in-game rewards available for simply playing the beta, that are available at the launch of MW2 if you own the game. Oh, that's cool. So maybe there will be more of a reason to play the beta this year. That's excellent.
Yeah,
because in the past, there's not. Everything resets.
Yes.
And a host of other innovations and surprises. Expect an unparalleled intel drop at the next event. In addition to in-game rewards, players who pre-order the Vault Edition, which is the most expensive edition, of MW2 will be able to utilize the following rewards during the beta. All four of your
cool.
red team operators, Ghost, Farah, Price, and Soap, each wearing a special masked outfit. And the FJX Cinder Weapon Vault.
And they still don't say any more than
which
that.
We still don't exactly know what that is. We used to think it was you can change the attachments in your gun. Like if you have a different blueprint, you can change it all.
It's
like a different barrel
that includes every possible attachment for the gun.
Yes,
that's
but
what we think.
Now the fact that we're getting this in the beta makes me think it's not that. Right? Because you're not getting like a bunch of skinned guns, I wouldn't think, you know?
I think it could be. Yeah. So like because the weapon vault, it's for a specific, it's not for every gun, right? It's like a specific gun that has a blueprint called FJX Cinder. Specific
guns, yeah. They were supposedly more expensive bundles, basically, because you could change every attachment.
I could see them doing that. And then they just let you change whatever your attachment is, and they'll all be Cinder themed. I could see that. Like an MP5 and an M4 or something.
Yeah, but that, I guess. But that, like, is going to include like some, like, blueprint then. Yeah. But it's just, I wouldn't think they would put, like, a cosmetic blueprint in the beta, but maybe they do just to show off their new weapon vault, if that's what it is. You know what another thing could be, too, is that, you know how when you buy a blueprint right now, even if you haven't leveled the gun to use that attachment selection, you can still use it because you have the blueprint. Maybe in this case, if the FJX Cinder weapon vault applies to the M4 and the MP5, that just means your level 1 M4, you can put every attachment on that you want to, because like a blueprint, you technically have the attachments unlocked by way of blueprint. It's possible. Interesting. Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, we don't know for sure. But that is still what I believe.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what that is for sure. But yeah, still no real intel on that. It's like the third time they've mentioned the Cinder weapon vault, but haven't told us what it is. So, all right, cool. And then, as I already said, between now and the next event, Infinity Ward is going to show us little snippets here and there, pulling back the curtain on aspects of developing the game, giving you an unprecedented behind-the-scenes access to the innovations coming to the game.
You think it's going to be an unprecedented level of behind-the-scenes? Because I don't. I think it's going to be
they showed us level design just there. That's already something they really don't ever show us.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see.
I don't know if I've ever really seen Call of Duty design like that. Not often they show you those things. Not that it matters, because you don't care. You're just playing the end
product, right?
The end product, but
yeah,
there's a lot that goes into it. And then last thing is the pre-order bundles, which we've already talked about.
Right.
So yeah,
very excited.
September 15th, going to be a massive day.
Yeah, and by the way, on the topic of the weapon vault, they say here, we plan to share more details on this and the new gunsmith at Call of Duty Next, which will also be available during the open beta. So by the time COD Next hits, among the things we're going to learn about the game are details on the gunsmith and on what the fuck a weapon vault means. And in this blog post, interestingly, they have an enumerated list of rewards. And one of those bullet points is FJX Cinder Weapon Vault. But then in parentheses, it says 5. And that's odd. I don't know why they did this. Is this just like reward number 5? Because then it says Season 1 Battle Pass and 50 tier skips 6. And then Ghost Legacy Pack 7. Yeah, I don't understand it. Never mind. I thought the 5 might mean how many weapons it applies to, but it's obviously not that. I don't know. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, we will learn more by Call of Duty Next on the Weapon Vault, the Gunsmith, and definitely more than that as well. So, also, we got some images from a map that we've already leaked, and we've already seen, I believe, the loading screen for. I believe that is what was leaked, of the new MW2 map called Marina Bay Grand Prix. And I'm going to pull them up here. So here's the first screenshot. We've got the Marina Grand Prix. We're looking at a Ferris wheel that has neon lights on it. There are this is like the entry to the place, I guess.
A little ticketing booth or something.
Like ticketing booths. Imagine if you're going to Disneyland. There's all the ticket booths.
You gotta wait in that 4-hour line.
You gotta wait in that 4-hour line, and then you get to the booth, and they give you a vaccine, and then charge you $2,000 for a ticket, and then you get in. So we see ticketing booths. Most of the image is just the back of a car. I don't know why they would pick this dog shit screenshot, but cool. And then, there's the Ferris wheel. It's nighttime. There are a lot of lights. We'll see how many shadows that creates. But there's the first screenshot. Second one here is... there's going to be fire on every map. First thing I notice immediately, a fucking car on fire. Okay.
Luckily, that's like not on the main part of the map. So basically, the map takes place inside of like the F1 circuit. So there's going to be cars moving around on the track the entire time. And it sounds like you can go on the track and get hit by the cars, or maybe actually there is a spot where you can just straight up cross over it. I don't know. But they can be avoided, it sounds like, by just not going on the track. Because they said something about like, be careful going on there. Two things, by the way, also, if there's fucking race cars going around, see a footstep audio. Won't need Ninja or Dead Silence. It won't matter. I'll have F1 cars in my ear.
Yeah, that's good. I find it almost impossible that this is going to be a good map. But anyway, here's this next picture. Yeah, this is like I don't know anything about F1, but this looks like the lane where you go
little pit stop
car. Yeah, the pit stop lane. So cool. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe you can cross over like the pit stop lane or something. Who knows?
And then here is an aerial view of the map. And I'm not really sure how much of this aerial view is actually playable.
Yeah, so basically the middle area there is so like these buses down here in the corner, I'm betting that is almost like a spawn point. Because you can kind of see there's railing and shit, and so I think that's a spawn point. Most of the map takes place so that like when you go up those steps there into like that main middle area, that is where most of the map takes place. And so it is technically, from everything that I've heard and said, it is like a 3-lane map. And actually this one apparently got excellent feedback from everyone playtesting it. Like I know Charlie Intel had said this map had the best feedback of all of them, and people really, really liked it, I guess. But I find that hard to believe just because it's at night. Just literally design the same map and put it in the day. I get that like having all these lights and everything looks cool. Usually doesn't play that well though.
How many people said this was a good map?
The CDL players really liked it. The comp kids. Okay. So that means it's a smaller 3-lane map.
I just, like you said, the audio is probably going to be terrible, and it's at night. And the nighttime thing might not matter that much. The visibility could, in theory, still be fine. I find it very hard to believe, but it can be done in a game. I don't know if Infinity Ward devs can do it, but in theory, it's possible. And then the fire is annoying, terrible frames. But if it is smaller in 3 lanes, I mean, those are good things as well. It is very worrying to me that this got the most positive feedback of the maps they've played so far. Like it
was just better than the others. Like people said it was actually like a really good map. Not that it was just like the best out of, and they were all dog shit. It was like, no, this is like a really good map. I guess this is like the number one map that the CDL kids liked from what they played, and I guess they didn't like all the maps for
a lot
comp.
Of different things though.
Exactly. Actually, from what they look for, the average player probably doesn't look for those type of things. So they often like the opposite of what other people like.
That's true.
Like the average casual player, at least.
Yes.
So anyways, yeah, it's a little map. I just don't like that it's at night, honestly, more than anything. But whatever. If it's well lit, doesn't look well lit from the screenshots, but if it is well lit, it'll be fine. It doesn't matter if it's at light.
Yeah.
Because even like, I mean, really, when you think about it, Piccadilly was just a shit design map. The visuals were fine on it, even though it was night. I mean, you couldn't see anything.
Oh yeah, that's
you couldn't
the
see
last
anyone
thing I'd complain about on Piccadilly is the visibility.
On any MW maps, yeah. But like it being at night was fine. It was just a very poorly designed map that should have never been introduced to the game.
Yeah, right.
So this will probably be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the F1 audio that I don't know. I don't want to see a lot of that. I don't want to hear a lot of that. So hopefully that's not the case, man.
If we get a traditional minimap, audio will also matter less. That's something people need to keep in mind too. No one really gave a shit about audio in fucking MW2 because you had a working minimap, you had the little dumb heartbeat sensors, and you had, you know, blips when people shot unsuppressed guns, all that shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's a lot to be learned. But yeah.
There is. So that's it for the next event. So again, MW2 multiplayer reveal, Warzone 2 reveal, Warzone mobile reveal, live gameplay, and a lot more details on MW2 progression, modes, gunsmith, as you said, and more. So that's September 15th, which is what day of the week is that? A Thursday? It's a dog shit day of the week. It's a Thursday, yeah.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. Have they even said the time? There's no time listed anywhere.
I think they
probably noon.
10 a.m.
Oh, okay. Was it 10?
Yeah.
I know the betas go live at 10. Okay. So September 15th, 10 a.m. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Anyways, next step here. Activision stole a skin from an artist online. So when the new season came out and they were talking about the Mercenaries of Fortune, the Terminator shit, there's a picture of it here in the notes you can look at, Raz. There was a Samoyed, which is a type of dog, a big, fluffy, giant white dog. They had this interesting little skin with that was the character. You were a fucking dog. You have an outfit on. Turns out it was basically ripped straight from some artist online. It's a statement from Activision. We have the utmost respect and creativity for content creation. We love the loyal Samoyed, but regrettably, we erred in our process and have removed this imagery from the game. We apologize for the misstep. It was just a straight up copy.
Union, by the way.
How do they even think of this skin unless someone saw it online and stole it? Literally. It was from like random website. I don't know how it works, but it's like some artist where they design things. It was all listed there, and I think you can like buy them or something, like buy the image. I don't know exactly how it works. It's not like an NFT stripe type thing, of course, but it was just like a straight up, like they just stole it from this artist online.
Yeah,
this artist found out, and they of course reach out to Activision. They went back and forth, and they're like, "Oh shit, yeah." They removed all the imaging,
it went to
and
court,
now,
I believe.
I mean, this literally happened within the last few weeks. I don't think it would have already gone to court.
I thought a judge ruled in their favor. I read that somewhere on the TL. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not. But maybe it's another fucking Activision lawsuit. There's probably 12. So yeah, I could be mixing them up.
So yeah, hopefully this girl artist that designed this and got stolen from Activision, hopefully she got a check for about $1 million or something. Because you know, the more money Activision loses, the better for everyone, right? So yeah, they just straight up copied it from that little poor artist online.
Sick company. So here's what almost certainly happened. Activision has like a fucking art team. They have employees.
Hundreds of employees, yeah.
And then one of them was like hungover on Friday because they don't have any discipline in their office. And they don't
cubicle crawls
supposedly playing the video game. Who knows what they were doing when they were supposedly playing the game, by the way. We'll probably learn more in the next edition of fucking lawsuits leveled at Activision. But here's what almost certainly happened. They have all these people working in this department. Some guy was fucking lazy and was like, oh, this fucking dog I beat off to last night looks cool. I'm gonna make this Mako Shark. I'm gonna copy this exactly and make it an operator because I'll have to do less work and not use my brain. And then of course this went through the head of the art department at I don't know who it would be. I don't know if Activision would have their own thing, but whatever.
These are probably Raven employees, I would imagine.
So probably the Raven lead art dev or the QA team. It's probably the lead art guy, but he has to approve the shit they're going to put in the game, obviously, right? So he looked at it. He was like, cool, send it through. And then
he also beat off to another furry.
He probably also beat off to it that evening, yeah. You know, at first I was going to say this is a failure of the lead art designer guy or whatever, but now that I'm thinking about it, how the fuck would you ever find that out?
Oh, of course. And that's what I'm saying. How do you no one comes up with this idea on their own. It was like down to like, it was almost the same outfit as the girl had designed online.
Yeah,
it's like someone saw and it's like, oh, this is a great idea. It's like, oh, the internet's huge. No one will know. And then of course someone found out.
Insta. Yeah. So
hopefully that person with Raven has been fired.
Yeah, that person definitely should be fired. I wanted to blame Activision, but actually you can't really. It's just that employees are fucking dumb shit. And he's almost certainly been fired. And if not, he or she or they definitely should be.
Them, yeah.
Because that's fucking insane. So, cool. Good job, Activision.
Yeah, excellent. And then last little thing here, as we said, COD Champs was this weekend. Don't care, didn't watch. The best thing though was Sledgehammer all day. They're tweeting at pros, they're retweeting pros, they're retweeting Call of Duty, they're retweeting the 100 Thieves score line they're posting, they're congratulating the champions. I mean, the first tweet I see on my TL after the championship is over is one of the FaZe members, FaZe Abizi.
Change it.
Absolutely change it. One of the guys who played in the tournament on Sunday, I think he was like Final Four, I don't know. He says, quote, "Thank God I'll never have to play this dog shit COD ever again. Literally the worst game I've ever played." This is minutes after. So, yeah, minutes after the season's over, this guy tweets out, "Holy fuck, this is the worst game I've ever played."
Like this from CDL players, by the way. I think one of them, I don't remember who it was from, was like, "I've never uninstalled a game so fast in my life."
Oh yeah, they like took a screenshot of them. It was uninstalled already.
Yeah, so
that tweet went bonkers viral. By the way, it had like 30,000 likes, and I liked it.
Likes, which is very funny to me. That's just
more likes than Sledgehammer's gotten on their tweets all year, actually.
Story. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's excellent. So yeah, congrats to 100 Thieves on winning the COD Champs, but more than that, congratulations on uninstalling Vanguard,
on being able to do that. Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations, boys.
Unfortunately, I am very sad to report the incident did not occur. The bug that ruined a match a week or two ago did not happen in the final round of the championships, changing the course of the event. I really, really wish it had, but it didn't. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'm actually truly sorry. And if it meant 100 Thieves losing versus winning, I would 1,000 times say do it.
We're rooting for 100 Thieves. They're our home team, man. They're in LA. We have to root for them.
They are the home team, I guess.
They're our home team. So we wanted them to win. They won.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah. So anyway.
And it wasn't even close. I think they blew them out too.
Thieves. I don't care who wins. I just wanted the bug to happen and people to get mad about it. So anyway, yeah. Anything else, Tanner Dropshot?
Cock and balls.
Cock and balls. Got it. So that is it for us today. Very excited for COD next. That won't be for another month, though. So in the meantime, as always, we will keep you posted. Between now and COD next, I would not expect that much info to be released officially.
Oh, the iDub stuff. We'll probably get, from the way they're talking, we'll get like at least 3 to 4 more of those.
The little intel drops, right?
Yeah, and that's like, they just showed us a brand new map today, so I'm expecting more of that. I mean, more info than we've gotten in previous years leading up to the actual main reveal, at least. So
yeah, for sure. But my only point is that they're obviously going to release a ton of info at COD Next. So anything really big, they're not going to talk about. So, for example, we're not going to learn for sure what weapon vaults are until COD Next.
True.
We're not going to learn for sure what the gunsmith system is until COD Next. And there are probably other things that are similarly large in scale that we just won't know until COD Next. The things I would expect from intel drops are what we've seen today. Different maps, which will be cool and interesting. And then guns and like operators. So they're going to show off like, oh, the ACR is coming back. And then everyone's going to lose their fucking minds on Twitter. When really we didn't learn anything at them saying the ACR is going to be in the game. That tells me nothing about the game. So we'll get some stuff. Mainly the maps, I think, are going to be the biggest things before COD Next. But COD Next is going to be when we're getting really juicy shit. However, between now and then, there could be leaks too, and we could learn a lot more. Maybe another NFL player gets code. That would be great. Give it to someone with the most CTE. Linemen would be great. Give it to some linemen. They'll live stream the entire game for our convenience. So that would be fantastic.
They wouldn't even realize they were live. Yeah.
Give it to some hockey players too. Anyone with brain damage is who you should be giving. Boxers, that would be great too. Sponsor some COD partnered boxers. That would be great.
Yeah.
So we can get more leaks. That would be fun and exciting. So we'll keep you guys posted on all of that as always. Take a look at the Twitter at the Dropshot Pod. We post our schedule there. If you're here live, we're doing a gameplay stream Friday the 12th, 12 p.m. Pacific time of Titanium Trials. Excited to give that a go. We got more Patreon eps coming next week. We got more regular eps coming next week. Some gameplay, all of that good stuff. Go to thedropshot.com. Stay connected. We got the YouTube, the TikTok, the Discord, and
got it.
Most importantly, the Patreon, the donation link, patreon.com/thedropshot. The donation link is always open. The best way to support the show, we do 7 bonus eps a month, monthly hangouts, and more. If you wanted to support the program, if you wanted more eps, more content, once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you all for watching and listening. Have an excellent day. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Double.